What's up, NBA fan? What's up, all sports fans? This your boy JB, host of the Behind the Bench Podcast Network and channel. Giving a shout out to the rest of the crew: Shad, Kelvin, KB Film Room, Big Dog Talk Sports. That's right. For everyone who's tuning in, keep supporting Behind the Bench. Subscribe to the channel and help make the show the best that it can be. And man, I want to touch on something right here, man, that is rarely being talked about during the first 3 weeks of the NBA season. And, right before our eyes, man, we see a young superstar rise to the occasion, man. And he's not being recognized, by the pundits and the talking heads on these mainstream sports shows. But that's where we at now when it comes to NBA commentary. They want to talk about all the nonsense, man, and the circus. But I'll get to that in another video. But I have to get a shout out, give props to Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, star shooting guard for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And after 9 games, the 24-25 NBA campaign, he has led his team to a 6-3 record. And after long-standing figure of the Timberwolves franchise, Karl-Anthony Towns, was traded to the New York Knicks for Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, actually, to me, that was a win-win trade for both teams. New York was looking for a certain type of player to complement what they was trying to build up, and Minnesota acquired a player that they felt could complement and develop chemistry with their star player, Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle. It's a win-win trade. And I have to give a shout out to Julius Randle, too, being a fan of the Los Angeles Lakers. He's playing within the framework of the game. He's not forcing the issue. And he's doing what he said he was going to do. Be the number 2 guy behind Ant-Man. So they already know what their role is going into the season. It's just developing their chemistry. And they had, sort of a slow start. And now they're starting to build momentum. And after losing the home opener, now they're sitting there at 6-3. But Ant-Man is stepping up. And what I like about what he's doing is, he is beginning to reach his potential as a young superstar of this league, 24 years old. And to me, it seemed like he'd been in the league longer than that. I thought he was like about 26, but he's 24, And so far this year, he's stepped up his game, averaging about 29 points a game, about 6 rebounds, about 5 assists, shooting about 49% from the field. And he's playing a more mature game. What I like about it is, this is an example, if the league were to back their young stars, I believe that these young stars would rise to the occasion and play up to their potential in the grand scheme of things. And he took a setback this postseason after that first round where he was playing tremendous versus the Phoenix Suns. He outplayed Kevin Durant in that first round series. He was balling. But they threw him off his game, man. He was totally off whack when they compared him to the season that Michael Jordan had during the 1987-1988 campaign, or they referred to as 88 Jordan, the 88 version of Jordan, where he won every single individual award imaginable. League MVP, scoring champion, led the league in steals, defensive player of the year, all-star game MVP, slam dunk champion. And I believe he more than likely played all 82 games. And it was just a tremendous season, and he raised the bar. That's an example of a player raising the bar, raising the stakes throughout the league. It put the Detroit Pistons on notice. Like, man, this is a guy we're gonna have to deal with for some years. We gotta be on top of our game. We gotta bring our A+ game to overcome his ability on the court. And Ant-Man got caught up in the comparisons, and I think it totally threw him off his game. He lost focus, and he didn't play nowhere near the level that he did in the first round throughout the remainder of the playoff. Even during the series versus the Denver Nuggets in the conference semifinals out west, he played solid, but nowhere near the way he played in the first round. And that carried over to the conference finals. He was trying to live up to something that he shouldn't have been thinking about. But when they brought up Jordan, man, it just threw him off his game. And he got caught up in just the whole narrative, and if he had played better, this series is going to go beyond 5 games that it went, But he has the right focus this year, and he's playing tremendous basketball for his team, and it's good to see. Actually, I believe Minnesota got better. They brought in a player, Julius Randle, who achieved second team All NBA status, twice over the past 5 seasons. That's nothing to sneeze at. He can give you 24 and 10 pretty much in his sleep. But Randle is sacrificing his stats for the betterment of the team, and Minnesota's right where they need to be. And I don't see a drop-off. I really don't see a drop-off, especially with Ant-Man raising his game the way he has, where he's averaging about 4 points a game more so far this year than he has last year. So that's what I'm saying, man. Just let these dudes play. Stop comparing these guys to past players, especially, when the career of the past players is etched in stone. They achieve what they achieve. He's only 24 years old. Just let him play. Compare him to his peers. That's what you do. Don't compare him to the past. But that just shows how great the NBA was back then. But just let these dudes play and compare them to their peers, to their contemporaries of the present day. You know what I'm saying? It'll stop all this necessary back and forth, all this chatter, all this tear down, and animosity. You know what I'm saying? But Ant-Man, particularly the last 2 games versus the Chicago Bulls and the Portland Trail Blazers, he's really breaking through as a player, and he's playing more mature now. And that's why I said it's a year-by-year thing. When you drafted a young player like Minnesota did in Ant-Man, well, he was able to learn from a Karl Anthony Towns. He was able to learn from a Mike Conley. They brought Mike Conley in for the veteranship and the savvy. He was able to pick up, on their experience, and that's what it's about, And now he's taking it to the next level. And I would just, if I saw him or something, man, or watched him play, and just say, I would say something like, man, just, don't worry about yesterday, man. Just play for now, man. Create your own mark in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, the past is there to learn from and to build off of. And then once a player's career ends, they'll be ranked where they pretty much need to be ranked. You know what I'm saying? He got a whole career ahead of him, man. Just let this dude play. Let these young cats play. And let the chips fall where they may. And the outcome of who they are and what they're going to achieve is going to be determined on the court. It won't have to be no narratives created. Won't have to be no agendas that have to be pushed. That's all I want, man, as a basketball fan, man. Like I say, I'm a fan of the Los Angeles Lakers. And, and everybody know what happened to the original young core. They was the original young core of the NBA. And they was discarded and pretty much spread across the entire NBA landscape. Like 8 or 9 different teams, you know what I'm saying? But Minnesota stuck with Ant-Man. They brought him in at 18 years. He had to be 18, 19 years old. And look what he turned into. So that's why I said if we had kept our young core, I could see a player like Brandon Ingram, reaching the same type of level of play on his original team who drafted him. But nonetheless, kudos to the Ant-Man. He's balling. And he's showing why he's one of the top players in the league. So, I just wanted to drop that nugget. And until next time, this is JB for BTB Behind the Bench.